Hello everyone, how are you all? And thank you for joining us. My name is Matt and we're here on SPTV. It's 8 o'clock in the UK. It's good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around the world. It's lovely to have you here on SPTV. For those of you joining for the first time, welcome. For those of you joining us each week, welcome also. So basically the way that tonight's show works is that post a question of a spiritual nature. And what we mean by that is something around mediumship, spirituality, Reiki, healing, something you've always wanted to know. And then basically I answer that to the best of my ability. And from there you get a reading. That's the only way you can get a reading. So we don't do readings for, can you see my mum? Can you see sort of orbs around me or anything like that? Has to be about learning. That's the only way. The other thing to bear in mind that obviously we're on a public platform, be it Facebook or YouTube, so please don't post anything personal. Ideally, don't put any photographs of your loved ones in the photos when you are coming up, as obviously they will come up because we want it to be honest and true. And obviously, if anyone comes to you saying, would you like a reading, they're not part of SPTV. And there has been an individual who's been posing as SPTV and as a bit of a scammer and asking for credit card details. SPTV will never do that, so please also be wary of that. Please like, share and follow if you're on Facebook, and please subscribe so that you can make comments on the YouTube channel. And that's that. So with no further ado, have we got any hellos, please? Okay, first person we got is Margaret O'Brien. Good evening to you, Margaret. Hello, Millie B. Nice to see you. Unfortunately, Kirsty is not joining us again because she's still not well after her operation. But hello, Stacey Shaw. Nice to see you. Hello, Carrie Ann Marshall Kearns. Hello, Vicky Brocklehurst. Hello, Terry Louise. Hello, Diane Tolhurst. Hello, Debbie Stein. Hello, Tammy Perkins from Boston. I think the other person was from Zambia, I think. Zimbabwe. Hello, Tina Place. Lovely to see you. I'm glad it worked. And thank you for all the people that joined us at the SPTV Holistic Fair on Saturday, and for the demonstration with myself and Deb. And thank you to Deb also for Friday. It was lovely to see everybody beyond the screen, as they say, and it was lovely to be able to connect with your loved ones. Hello, Georgia Plesiak. Hopefully I've said that correctly. Hello, Catherine Newkirk from Missouri. Hello, Jane Pusey. Hello, Laura Swan. Hello, Liz Wakers. Hello, Christine Davies. Hello, Nick Brown. It's nice to meet you also over the weekend. And Nick joins Dawn on a Monday for the show, the breakfast show, and that's a lovely show. So if you can join, if you're available at 11 o'clock UK time, please check in with Nick and Dawn. Hello, Kimberly Dolby from Portsmouth. Hello, Anna Nilsson from Sweden. Hello, Shana George. Okay, so the first question tonight is from Becky Johnson. It says, how do you know who your guide is? The easiest way is to basically, if you go into a meditation, you basically ask your guide to draw close and ask them to show you who they are. And then as you build that relationship, you can ask them who their name is, what they wish to impart, and you're building a relationship over a period of time. So that's one way. Another way, if you don't want to do that, is for guided meditation. You can use various sort of channels like the YouTube, and that way you can do guided meditation to go and find your guide. But it's basically asking your guide. Now, as my guide always says, and I've said this before to on the show, is my guide says we're just energy. You know, it's you that calls us names. It's you that gives us names for you to recognize. But basically, it's going into that moment. If you sort of specify a time, I don't know, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 7 o'clock in the evening, a point where you're not going to fall asleep, where you go into that meditation, so your guide gets used to coming in at that particular time. But your guide will come in on a regular basis the more that you build up and you start to establish that link. So hopefully that makes sense to you, Becky. I've got some new cards this evening, and this is these ones, the new Radley Valentine ones, the Sword of Light cards, Archangel Michael. So I'm going to start off with these for the reading. And it's regain your focus. Trivial life matters are distracting you from your goals. Archangel Metatron and I are here to help you stay grounded. So there's your card there. And with you, I need to say it's about sticking your foot in the ground and deciding where you're going to be. I feel like I'm here, there, and everywhere. And it's almost like sticking my fork in the ground to say, this is where I'm going to be. This is what I'm going to do. And it's setting that intention with yourself, Becky, to sort of go forward and sort of with what your intention is, what to do. I also feel with you, there's a lot going on, and within your mind, there's lots of things that have been happening around you. But I want to say that it's struggling just to stay focused. It's not that I'm tired, it's just that much going on in my life. It's sort of difficult to maintain that. I also feel with you that I have a grandmother. I want to go on mum's side of the family with yourself. I want about 5'3" in height, cuddly to the frame. I want similarities around the eyes, would have also worn glasses. And I feel with her, 80, 81 is what I feel. I also feel like I'm going to the heart with her, and I feel that I'm a really happy, go-lucky individual, really happy and bouncy, and I'm needing that energy with yourself. And obviously this is your wedding day and you're happy there, but I need the happiness bringing in. I also want to say with yourself that with that focus, I need for you to use some crystals, and I feel you've got crystals, and the ones that I want you to connect with are amethyst, and I also want red jasper, are the two. So the red jasper is obviously connected to the root chakra. The amethyst, if you will help you with this focus, but also will clear third eye. So if you lie back on the bed or on a reclining chair or whatever, put the amethyst on your third eye and just rest it there and just allow it to clear out and give you that greater focus. And the final thing I need to say to you on this card is number 27. I need to give you 2 and 7, which is 9. I need to go to the month of September for an anniversary, birthday or passing. And I feel I'm going around about the 14th or 15th, those 2 days for those. And I feel it's quite a happy time. So I do feel it's more of a celebration, like an anniversary or a birthday. The light comes in on this card, and I need to let the light continue to come in to light the way for you and to guide you to where you need to be. Now, obviously, we're at 2012 and just over 22. All the 2s are coming in, so this is about transformation and loads of change with you, Becky, and there's lots of change happening. It's a bit worrying, which is why this sort of sword is sort of the forks going in there to stand your ground a little bit. But don't worry, everything's starting to settle and just starting to fit into place and be just the way it is. Hopefully that makes sense to you, and thank you for your grandmother toll working with me. Okay. Any more hellos, please? Hello, Pearl Milligan. Good evening to you. Hello, Spirit of Love. Hello, Kerry Farmer. It was nice that you were there at the Holistic Fair, Kerry. Hello, Maribel Ibarra Rodriguez. Hopefully I've said that well, Maribel. Hello, Janet Parkin. Hello, Deanna Shiflett. Hello, Matthew Lintott, sorry. Hello, Natalie Bentley. And hello, Shelley Stewart. And I'm glad that you enjoyed Nick and Dawn's show this morning. It's a really nice show. So our next one is Vicky Brocklehurst, if you're still there. It says, would you recommend visiting a spiritualist church first or attend a one-to-one reading? I've never done either before, only been on here, so unsure. Okay, so it depends what you're after, Vicky. If you're going for just a reading, I would go to your spiritualist church and just see maybe, you know, if you don't want to go in for a service, then just ask them who would you recommend in the local area for doing readings, and they will recommend reputable mediums. That's the first thing. If you want to see what it's like to actually go to a spiritualist church, what it's like, it's not like a traditional church. Basically, you will have an opening prayer. Depends on obviously whether it's a national or Christian spiritualist. But basically, you have an opening prayer. You will then have a few songs. There could be modern songs. There might be hymns, depending on the church. There will be a philosophy. And then basically the second part will be then all readings. And just to give yourself whether it's something for you, they're all very welcoming. I don't know what part of the world or where you are in the UK, if you're from the UK, Vicky, but if you just put in the comments, not the actual address where you are, but sort of like Somerset, Cheshire, or wherever, if you're in the UK, or where you are in the world, and then hopefully we can sort of point you in the right direction of a spiritualist church if you are interested. But personally, I would say to go to your spiritual church first. I would go to a service if that's what interests you. If it's just to go there just to seek advice, to find out a reputable medium, because unfortunately there are genuine mediums and there are unscrupulous mediums everywhere. Wherever there's an opportunity, you know, it's a shame. It gives us all a bad name, but there will. You're in Warwickshire, so if you can, again, depending where you are in Warwickshire, you can go to the West Midlands if in the SNU. You can go to around Birmingham, around Coventry. I think Warwick's got a church as well. So I'll if I remember after the thing, I'll put something up for Warwickshire. But if you just type in Spiritist Church Warwickshire, and then it'll come up for yourself. Okay. So thank you for Vicky. Okay, so I'm going to this time. Okay, I'm going to go to the angel cards for you. Going to the angel guide cards for you, because I'm very much drawn to the angels for yourself. Let's move these ones out of the way. Okay, so this is you. Raise your vibration. And that's your card. And I need to say to you, this is about you being open to changes. And there's been a lot of changes within you. You've been having lots of vivid dreams. You've been quite emotional. But this is all about changes that have been going on in your life. I need to say to you, this last sort of 4 to 5 months has not been easy for you. But this is a shift within you. It's like, I've got a different Vicky here. It's like a more confident, it's more in touch with herself than what she is. And please don't take this the wrong way, but I just feel that this changes within me. In this card, there is lots of orange, and I'm needing to send you lots and lots of energy. And I also need to say to you, you're very intuitive. So when you're going for this, whether you should go for the to the spiritual church or to the reader, if you're not drawn to the church, then you don't go to the church. But there are many in the West Midlands area. So You know, do check it out. If one doesn't feel right, then trust it and then go and look somewhere else. There'll also, I feel, will be a person who will sort of say to you, I've just had this brilliant reading, and that you'll be guided that way, because it'll be almost like spirit will put you where you need to be for that reading. And for the circle, because I need to say there's almost like mediumistic abilities that need to be developed if you so choose, because obviously we can't tell you to develop with that. That's your personal choice. I also want to say with you, there is higher development with yourself, with your learning on your spirituals. There's almost like an awakening of sort of like everything is almost like, which bit should I learn about first? And there's just like this excitement with my spiritual learning. Okay. I want to go on a father vibration, and I feel that I'm sort of going on an uncle on father's side of the family who comes in. I want to say this gentleman is probably 5'11", just shy of 6 foot. I also want to say clean shaven. I want to say very slim to the body. I want to say very bright gentleman. I want to say heart on he wore his heart on his sleeve, and he was very much a person who would have put people first. But he's also reflecting that you're also very much the same, that you're a person who puts other people before yourself, and very much a person who is also wanting to give. This gentleman, I feel with him sort of, my stomach is really sore, so I get stomach conditions or cancer with him. I also want to say with him, I feel like I'm sort of early 70s, 71, 72 maximum. I feel like I was on the go all the time, and I just feel that I was giving, but I feel that in hindsight, I should have given back to myself. And this is what he's wanting for you, to give back to yourself and start to think about yourself. And I also want to say to you, Vicky, that, you know, you have so much strength within you. And this is about saying to you that basically, this is time for me now and not time for others. This is time about just saying, it's time to rest. I know we're coming up to the Christmas break and that, but I felt like it's almost, I've been running on reserves for the last sort of 3 months. I just need to give back to myself. Going back to the card, oh, sorry, just before I do, the message from the gentleman is to say to you, bring back the playful side of yourself. Let's have the laughs and jokes again, the silly side. Going back into the psychic, I just want to say there is lots of rainbow colors here. And I just want to say there is so much within there, all the different colors that are coming in. It's different aspects of you. I don't know if you've had aura photography or whatever, but I feel that if you were to, there'll be different colors within your aura. It won't be just like a blue or pink or whatever, be all multicolored. And significant in there is healing, and it's the need for you to heal yourself at the moment. Hopefully that makes sense to yourself. Thank you very much for allowing me to work with you and your loved ones. You're welcome, Vicky. Hello, Jade Michelle. Hello, Maywish Naz. Hello, Debir Solis from South Africa. Hello, Mandy Richards from Portsmouth. Hello, Julianne Barber. I see you for the first time. Hello, Margie O'Brien. Hello, Anna Nielsen again. Hello, Julie Ramsden. Okay, so the one we've got is Carrie Ann Marshall Kearns. How do I open my third eye? So allowing yourself, so we mentioned before about the amethyst of cleansing the third eye, but just meditating and just allowing yourself to relax and to open. If you imagine that third eye, if you center that energy, imagine that third eye opening. The more that you work, your third eye will start to open naturally itself. If you get sort of like a headache, it means that sort of like the energies aren't right. To be aware of sort of like negative energies with that third eye. So it's about making sure there's protection around you, you're grounded, and just allowing yourself just to sit. And if you practice sort of visualizing in different sort of aspects where you start to be aware of when you're out looking at the trees, looking at the different shades of the leaves, looking at everything around and taking greater detail, because your third eye is an extension of your clairvoyance. There's an extension of your normal sight. So the more that you see, the more you start to identify. More that you start to then sit, more than that your third eye starts to naturally open, it awakens up. So hopefully that makes sense to yourself, Carrie Ann. But basically just sitting and just giving it affirmations that I'm willing to be open, I'm willing to accept, I'm willing to be open there. There's also, again, guided meditations that can help you and guide you with your third eye. And the other thing, final thing, is just to imagine like a door or a petal just opening visually, and then just believing that that's opening up. And what will happen, your third eye will open instantly. It'll open a little bit over time, bit by bit, and get stronger and stronger. But the more you open it, the more sensitive you become, then the more you also need to put protection as you become more sensitive. Okay, so where do I want to go with this one? Okay, oh, we're getting me working all the cards tonight. So with you, I need to go to the fairies. I don't know why, Carrie Ann, but it's the fairies that I want to go. Despite what a lot of people think, the fairies are quite mischievous. They can be quite naughty, and they can be quite heavy energies. But I do need to say with yourself, I don't know you from Adam, Carrie Ann, but I just want to say there's a mischievous side to you. That's obviously why. Okay, so the card for you, I'll just hold up there. It's a justice card. It's from the Fairy Tarot. Take the time to review the details carefully. You will win in the end. Fair and objective decisions. I need to say with yourself, Carrie Ann, that in the card here, there are two twins, male and female twins. And I need to say there has to be even balance. And where I'm going with this is, obviously I had to read what was on the card, so you understood there. But I want to say it's almost like the balance isn't right in my life. It's like I've gone too much that way or too much that way. And it's almost like I'm going to work, and I need to bring that spiritual side to myself. And then there's other times where I'm going spiritual, and I need to bring the life side and sort of materialistic side in. And it's having that balance. We can go too much one way or the other. And I do feel with you, the balance isn't quite right. I do feel that you fell out of sync and out of balance, and I do want to go to the stomach area for that sort of problems with the stomach. I also want to say to you that I feel like I need to slow down a little bit. I feel like I'm on the go. I feel like there's so much that's going on in my life, and I just need to almost like put the pause button on for a bit and allow myself to gather my thoughts and decide what it is, one, what I want to do, but also to allow myself just to, it's almost like things are running away with myself. I just can't keep up with it all. And it's just, it's almost I'm tripping over myself trying to keep up with everything. I want to say this year hasn't been an easy year for you, but with that year, it's, as we're now coming into the December month, this month, I know we're only a couple of days into it, things are starting to change slightly, but the rest of the year has been severely up and down for whatever reason that is. There is a lot of autumnal colours in here, so I do feel that this is a time that is a nice time for you. And I want Christmas to be a happy time. I know that you like Christmas. I want the fun, and I want the elves and all of that. I want like the elf movie and all of that, all the fun aspects of Christmas and all that. I don't know where you are in the world, but it's almost like I need to go ice skating on the ice and that on there. And I also want to be around trees because I need to be grounded. So there we go on the psychic. And I need to give you the month of August around the 23rd. So from the 22nd to the 24th, but I had to give you the 23rd. Right, here we go. Okay, I'm going mum's side of the family. Again, I want familiarity in the face. It's okay if you fall asleep. Hopefully I'm not that boring. Okay. So I need to say to you that basically I have a lady here you resemble. I want to say probably about 5'4" in height, cuddly to the frame, but exactly the same, would have worn glasses, exactly the same features, obviously not the pink hair. I also need to say to you that basically I feel with this lady quite a hard-working lady. She was a grafter. She worked with her hands. She worked. She gave. I feel with her that sort of I'm waking up sort of 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm working till 8 o'clock at night. And I would have been like that. I certainly feel like I'm going my late 70s, 78, 79, that sort of age. And I feel with her that she went quite quick. I don't feel you got to say goodbye to her. I also feel with her that basically she was a strong woman. She wouldn't have been one to moan, but in the end, she was ready to go. Excuse me. I feel with her also, I'm very much a feeder. I would have made all the drinks and just kept people going. My door would have always been open. And I just feel just a naturally nice lady. She comes in with yourself, and the reason that she's come in is that basically that there has been I need to open my door again to people, let people in again. It's almost like I don't know if this is for protection or what, but basically I've shut people out, I've pushed people away for whatever reason without going to anything personal. And I just need to say it's now time to start opening the door and welcoming back in. You have such a caring nature, but sometimes when we're so caring or so loving, we need to think about our own needs. And this is about opening that door slowly, not so quickly. And I also need to say to you that basically things are getting better for you. And I need you to understand that things are getting better. It's almost like you're talking out stuff are too good to be true. It's not going to continue, or nothing goes right for me. I need to change that mindset and allow things to turn around for the better. Good times are coming. If I can thank you for your grandmother for working with me, and also for you as well, Carrie Ann. God bless. Hello, Anita McClarkin from Canada. Hello, Sharon O'Connell Jones from Wales. Hello, Jerry McCombs. Hello, Carol Wobble. Hello, Paul Smith. Hello, Polly Harnett. I'm very professional, Mr. Producer. Hello, Lightworker. Hello, Natasha Beresford. Hello, Sue Lawrence. Hello, Christine Ziegler, or Ziegler. Apologies if I answered that correct. Hello, Lynn Corrimer from USA, Texas. Okay, so the next one is from Shayna George. It's to do with dreams. I'll first admit I'm not a dream analyst. So it says, what does it mean when you're swimming in your dream? Another about a dream is a scene of replay 2 times and have 2 different outcomes, but stuck in the dream you can't get off. Okay, so I'm going to answer this to the best of my ability, Shane. What we sometimes have, we have quite vivid dreams when we are having spiritual dreams. And sometimes when things are replaying, it's a bit where we're stuck in our mindset, because obviously our brain, when we go into the sleep, when we're dreaming, is obviously figuring out everything that's been going on. And it's so in one sense, it's working out what has happened in that day or recently that we can't seem to get past or deal with. It's going round and round our mind. So we're trying to figure it out in our dreams. And the other thing is we can also have past life dreams. So one of the stories I sometimes tell is many, many years ago, I used to have one of a dark night. And basically I had I don't know if it's Spike or whatever it is, but the lancing sword where they used to ride on the horses and when they were jousting. And it went inside me, and I woke up in sort of like a sweat. It was real and everything else. And later on, when I came into this way of life, one of my guides is sort of like a Knights Templar. And so I knew that I'd been in that, obviously I didn't at the time, but I'd been in that sort of past life and that understanding. So there are various things, but like I said, I'm not a dream analyst. If there's others, if there's dream analysts on here that say, well, actually, it's not just that, there's this as well, then please contribute and speak to Shania. But also, I need to say to when we're swimming in our dream, this is emotion. Swimming is very representative of sort of water and very emotions. Okay, can I just finish this first? With this is very much about your emotions, and sometimes it feels like we're struggling with our emotions. So if you imagine it sort of you're swimming up tide in sort of against the water type of thing, it's that basically we're struggling with our emotions, and if we're going with it, it's almost like our emotions have taken over us a little bit. It is how I interpret that. So this is about stability around your dreams, and maybe this may come out in your reading, I don't know. The producers just said is that basically we need to know whether it's going forward or backwards when you're swimming. All right, but basically to me, the swimming is to do with your emotions and sort of like that either they're too much for you or you're pushing your emotions away and the basically not willing to face your emotions. That's how I would suggest with that. All right, so where do I want to go? Okay, I want to go, let's move these out of the way. I want to go the Sword of Light cards with you, which is new Oracle card by Red Levantine. And the card, so I'm going very quick on this. If Shania, if you can just tell us you're still here. But I'm going to, while we're waiting, it says 16, it's almost over. Your current challenges will soon be resolved and you will be able to look at the future with a smile. I need to say to you, don't sort of bury your emotions, embrace them and very much feel them. The more that we feel our emotions, although it may be overwhelming at times, the more we accept and more that we heal. And yes, we might get tearful, yes, we might get angry, but we start to feel them. The more we feel them, we can understand them. And the more we understand them, then we can basically start to learn how to deal with them. You're a very emotional and passionate lady. One of the things that you shouldn't do is basically just allow yourself to be self-absorbed with those emotions. I want you to say to feel them, so it allows you to truly move on. Because it's almost like been stuck, I want to say, for 2 years with whatever the emotional state is. Okay? And this is your time, is the last thing I need to say. But I feel, if you're still there, please listen to what I said or play it back later on. I'm now going to move on. So thank you very much for that, Shania, because I haven't heard anything, so I'm not sure if you're still there. So I'm going to move on. So any more lows, please. Hello, Linda Blake from London. Hello, Claudette Hollinge from Essex. Hello, Vanessa Messina, again from Texas. Hello, Katriana Ryan. Just said that. Hello, Xian Luiba from the Philippines. Nice to see you. God speak to you as well. Hello, Hayley Cook from Wales. Lovely Wales. Hello, Claire Chapman from the lovely Blackpool. Many a stories I could tell you there, but we won't do that. It's not the 9 o'clock curfew yet. Hello, Marina Coyle from the lovely Dublin. Hello, Regan King from the lovely Australia. Okay, so the next one is from Jade Michelle. I'll just read it. How to get my psychic abilities without fear. I've been told I have the gift, but fear scares me. I need to speak to my nan who passed away 6 weeks ago. Okay, I can't guarantee if your nan's going to come through. If she does, she does. No medium can guarantee who's going to come through, but I'll try my best. With you, I need to point out first the difference between psychic and sort of mediumship. Please, it sounds a bit patronising, I'm not, but it's just for other people on there. Your psychic abilities, where you're feeling the energies in the environment or around a person, and you're picking up on those type of abilities. So when I'm reading tonight, when I've been using the cards, I'm using my psychic abilities. And then basically, if I am connecting with your loved ones and talking to your loved ones, then I'm working mediumistically or evidentially, as it's sometimes known. So that's the first thing. There's nothing to be scared of. Now, sometimes with any fear, and I don't mean just about psychic work, it's the fear of one of the unseen, but also the fear of not doing it, or what it might be involved is actually worse than actually doing it. So what I need to say to you is, rather than doing it on your own, when you're first starting off, I always say to go to a local spiritualist church or someone reputable who's known, who in a home circle, who's been recommended to you from maybe the local spiritualist church, who can then guide you through how to do it properly. I think the fears are in a lot of cases, and if we're shown how to do things over the internet, if we're shown by someone who doesn't know what to do themselves, that almost, we pick up on that fear from their uncertainty, but also that builds on the fear within us also. So I need to say to you, go and see. I don't know whereabouts you are in the country or the world, Jade, but basically I just need you to go to your local spiritualist church and they will point you in the right direction there. Again, as we did with the lady earlier in Warwickshire, we can point you in the directions, the different places. I can't remember if I said with the Warwickshire area, but you've got Coventry and Shropshire and all around there, and also like the SNU West Midlands district and all of that type of thing. So if you can just put what area of the world you're from, or what county if you're in the UK, and then we can advise you on that. Okay. So with you, we'll stay with these cards. Right. This one. So with yourself, Jade, all is perfect timing is your card. This is it. It's time to take action now. I will be here to help you every step of the way. So this is your card. Now, I want to say to you, this is pennies from heaven. I want to say that I want to go on father's side of the family with a grandmother. I don't know if that's the grandmother you're after, but it's that grandmother who I have with me. I want to go on her. I want to say very strong, independent lady, doesn't take any messing, basically wants to come through and sort of like, right, come on, let's not have any of that messing. We're going to get through this. And I don't mean in a nasty way. It's sort of like, come on, we can do this. We've got every power. We can be really supportive. I also want to say with her, sort of mid-80s, between 84, 86, I feel again that I didn't get to say goodbye in there. I have pains in different parts of the body, so I feel that different parts of the body did fail. I feel also very, very tired. I was ready to go. I'd fought too much. I wasn't one to moan, but at the end, I was just ready to go. I couldn't fight anymore. I do feel that it almost took a turn for the worse with my health. I'm getting a really bad stomach pain. So when I get bad stomach pains, I either get a stomach condition, but I also get cancer within the body, is what I'm feeling here. I also feel very, very tired. She's also making me aware that you're not sleeping properly, that you're sort of like 112, 215, 315, 4:30, 6:15. I'm getting up quite a lot through the night. It's things are going over in my head. There is worry over money and all of that type of thing. So there's quite a lot that's going on. I also want to say, different to one of the people I've read for already about keeping the door open. This is just keeping the door open spiritually, allowing spirit to come in to see. So it's almost like I'm seeing one in my dreams, but also if I went into a meditation, I would see loved ones come in. And it's almost like, oh no, it can't be that. It's just because I'm wanting them to come. That type of, it's almost I'm talking myself out of it. But basically, I'm ask them to touch the side of your face and feel the side of your face, to sort of like cover your ear up, just challenge a little bit to give and build up the practice over time. Build it up ideally for about 10 minutes and then keep to extend it. I don't do it for a long time myself, but you know, you certainly don't want to do any more than half an hour. When you first start over 5-10 minutes and keep extending it a little bit at a time to about a maximum of 15 minutes to keep working on that ability. The other thing you might want to do, I'm not saying these cards and things, I'm just giving this as an example, but it's to buy yourself a pack of cards and then just basically do like a card of the day to turn over, which will also help your psychic abilities to tune in and all that. And just do that for yourself, which obviously will dispel that fear. I also feel with the grandmother that basically I knew people, I was a good judge of character, and I gave beautiful hugs. And I want to give you a beautiful hug. Excuse me, I feel like I'm now going mum's side of the family. I want to give you a beautiful hug just to hold you tight and reassure you that everything's okay. I need to say to you from the grandmother on your mum's side that basically things continue to be okay. There was a worry that's been talked about. Do you think everything's gone over? Have they gone over and all of that? She's also shown me ashes. So I don't know if she would have been cremated, but she's shown me a pot with sort of that someone's been cremated. And I also want to say that there was a lot of people at the funeral, lots of people on there. And the final thing I need to give you is I need to give you foxglove, which is like a wild flower. I need to give you a foxglove from this grandmother. And I just need you from both grandmothers just to blow you a kiss and thank you for working with Jade. Okay, so hopefully, as both grandmothers come through, one of those hopefully will be the one that you were hoping for. Okay, so moving on. Any more hellos, please, Miss Producer? Yep. Okay. We're doing a fundraiser tomorrow, guys. We're basically trying to raise for, you can see here, this is Owen. He's after a specialist bed, which will allow him to not have pressure sores and allow him to basically to cope with his illness and to basically sleep properly. So this specialist bed costs a lot of money, and because there's no grant funding, we're doing raising. Now we have raised quite a bit already, but tomorrow there are various times in the day where we're doing fundraising. So our first fundraising is, can you just remind, is at 1 o'clock, and that's with Wendy Lindsay. The next time is at 3 o'clock, and that's with Nick Brown. Is that correct? Yeah. 6 o'clock with the Deb Clark, and then 8 o'clock will be with myself. So there's different ways to contribute with there, and if you just want to put donation, it won't be questions tomorrow night with myself. It'll be just sort of readings galore. And if you can just put a donation of any amount, we're not saying there's a minimum amount that you have to do, just whatever you can think, which will obviously contribute towards this bed on there. It'd be very much appreciated. So thank you very much for that. So we're now going to go to some adverts. Please be aware that we will be returning, so please don't go away. We'll be back in about 2 minutes' time.
If you're a SPTV VIP, then you're in for a chance to win a massive £100. On Tuesday afternoon from 1 p.m, Wendy Lindsay offers free spiritual readings and guidance using her crystal ball.
Hello, welcome back everybody. It's lovely to have you back. And if you're just joining us, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. My name is Matt, and welcome to our Monday night show. For those who are just joining us, basically the way the show works is please post a spiritual question. When I say that, it's one about mediumship, your spirituality, something you've always wanted to know, maybe it's psychic abilities, Reiki healing, anything like that. We don't answer questions about, can you see this person behind me? Has this person passed over? Is the orbs you can see in this picture? We don't do anything like that in this show. What we're trying to do is to learn from one another and to allow ourselves to grow and understand. We're very much a community and supporting one another. So can we also ask for healing for Jade Michelle also with a nan just passing over, because obviously it's not an easy time when someone's just passed over. So if guys can send some healing to Jade, that would be appreciated. But can I ask if there's any more hellos, please, Mr. Juicer? Hello, Liz Kennedy. Hello, Valerie Briggs. For myself, Tina, I'm using the Sword of Light, the new ones by Radley Valentine, which obviously got the Hay House. Another Hay House ones are the Angel Guide cards by Carl Gray, who's their Angel Guru since Doing Virtue left. And the final one, which is another Radley Valentine. I like Radley Valentine. He's got a lovely way. Is the Fairy Tarot. Thank you, Mr. Juicer. It was a down under version I was showing you. So there we go. It's the Fairy Tarot there also. So they're the cards that I'm using this evening, Tina. People always say to me, you know, what cards would you recommend? I always say cards call you. So go with what feels right for yourself. Hello, Nancy Acker. Hello, Nicola Handler. Hello, Lisa Marino from Pennsylvania. Hello, Krish Pile from Germany. Hello, Natalie Petit. Don't have to apologise for being late. Hello, Abby Smith. Hello, Summer Coates. Hello, Kimmy Kay. Hello, Caroline Glenn from Scotland. Hello, Shian Liba. Okay, so Shian Luipa is the person I want to go to next, which I think you said you were from the Philippines earlier when you said hello. How do you communicate? So you can go into Development Circle and learn how to develop. If you're going to do it on your own, you need to do it with the really to know what you're doing. But if you're going to do it from home, then ensure you get the right protection on that. But make sure that you've been somewhere first to learn how to do it, to communicate. Still your mind, sit in the power. So basically you're building the energy up over time, and then invite spirit in to speak to you, to allow you to communicate. So that's how you do it mediumistically. We're working psychically, we still our mind, quieten our mind, and then we just almost stare at, if we're gonna, cards is probably the easiest. I just stare at the card, and then I look at the color, I look at the words, I look at the pictures, and whatever bit's drawn out, and then I'm interpreting what they feel that they mean to me in an intuitive way. Obviously that's psychically. So that's basically how you communicate, by sort of allowing the spirits to come in to talk to you, and being open to that. But you need to know sitting in a proper development circle is the proper way. I'm not sure about the Philippines. If you get in touch with the ISF, which is the International Spiritualist Federation, and the reason I say that organization is they have a church in the Philippines which is affiliated to that organization. The ISF don't actually have a church per se themselves, but there is one in the Philippines. Whereabout that is, because I know there's a lot of islands in the Philippines, but I know there was one in the Philippines for yourself. Okay, so I want to go to the Fairy Tarot with you, Shian. We'll go to this one. So it's this card, Seven of Winter. And the card says, there is a better choice, not seeing things clearly, running away from the truth. I see this as the ice that's almost, I'm freezing out, not people, but freezing about my own emotions. This is about me sort of saying, I don't feel comfortable with feelings and sort of comfortable with how people are making me feel. So I'm shutting down, I'm burying those emotions. And I just need to say, it's almost trying to stop myself from feeling those emotions. But what I need to say to you, when it comes to feelings and emotions, we can't bury them. We can push them down, we can try and forget about them, everything else, but they will come back, and they'll come back in two ways generally. They will come back in either that basically we'll get tearful because we can't hold back those emotions, or we'll get quite angry where none are quite laid back, and we'll give out that anger because it's pent up and it has to come out and be vented if it doesn't come out in tears. So, you know, allow those emotions to be felt. It seems a bit of a pattern tonight. We're doing quite a lot with emotions tonight, but I just need to say to feel those emotions and allow the snow and the ice to clear and bring the sunshine back to make you feel a lot happier and a lot clearer with yourself. And it will allow then those headaches and that clearer thought to work with you. I also need to say to you, this is very much about communication and very much speaking about how you feel and how people make you feel. I also feel like I've got a father figure. I don't feel very tall with this gentleman. I feel very slim to the body. I'm probably about 5'6" in height, dark hair, clean shaven, not any beard. I've got glasses on, so this isn't father, I want to go grandfather, but I want to go father's side of the family. I feel with him 67, 68, I don't feel old from my passing. I feel that my passing was very quick. I also feel with him that I was ill. I feel like I'm sort of being bathed on my head, and I feel like I'm being cared for at home. I don't feel like I'm in a hospital or whatever. I feel like I've passed at home with the family. I also feel that there would have been two females in the room with the gentleman when he passed. I don't see any gentlemen around. I see two females, like a mother and a daughter that's around him. I also feel with him that it was just like my health deteriorated quite considerably. It was unexpected, my ill health. I also want sort of flowers being placed on the body. So I don't know the Philippines, I don't know if that's what they do, but I'm putting quite large flowers on the body. And I also want to say peace. And you're bringing in peace for you. And this is peace of mind and just peace for yourself, just to allow. I need to say forgiveness with that. And I need to say this is about forgiving yourself. I don't feel this is because of him, but basically there's forgiveness that is needed. And the final thing I need to bring music to lift the happiness, because music is allowing the soul to sing, and it's almost like I need to bring the music in to allow you to dance, to have fun, to laugh again, and to wipe away the tears. I need to, the final thing I need to say to you, he's bringing symbolically a plane flying off the water, and I feel this is symbolic, and what I feel by this is about you soaring now. This is about not holding yourself back. This is going off and doing your own thing. All right, so if I can leave that with you, thank you for working with me. So guys, if you can please say if you're still here. If you're not here, then unfortunately we're going to give a 10-second rule, because we've had 2 people now that unfortunately it doesn't seem that they're here. So we're going to give 10 seconds. If you don't reply, then unfortunately we're going to move on to the next person. So it's just so you're aware as we go forward, so we can try and get through as many people as we can this evening. Okay, and hellos, please, Ms. Producer. Hello, Carolyn Thomas. Hello, Bernice Rodriguez. Hello, Emma Butler from Hampshire. I'm sure I met you the other day, and if it was you, hello. Hello, Wendy Baird from New York, place. Hello, Louise Booth, another Blackpool person. Next one is from Susan Tucker. Can you explain physical mediumship, please, Matt? And what are your views on it? Okay, so physical mediumship involves physical movement. It involves sort of physical phenomena, and basically involves sort of the medium going into a very deep trance state, and basically in a physical circle, it's built, the energy is built up over a long period of time. So where some circles you might go, you know, I don't want to come this week, I've got a tummy ache, or, you know, something's popped up. You have to have consistency, and you don't start to see things in a physical circle for, you know, like maybe it could be 5 years before the first things. But the physical phenomenon is something that's witnessed by at least 2 people. And with that, basically, you will see objects, you will see movement. So things that will include physical mediumship will occur, what we call apports. So basically, these are solid objects that dematerialize and rematerialize elsewhere. So this could be sand from the Sahara, it could be coins from time, from another time or another part of the world that suddenly appear within the circle. So that's one example. It could be levitation, someone's levitating, it could be, but it's basically, it's being witnessed. It's not like someone closing their eyes and going into meditation and all of that, or in mental mediumship, where basically the medium's giving, you'll actually witness it actually happening in front of you. And that's what it means by physical mediumship. My views on this are mixed, Susan. There are some definite physical mediums, or very good physical mediums I've seen over the years. You know, if I won't give any names tonight because I don't want to things, but I remember one of the gentlemen was doing table tipping, and this was a solid oak 6-foot table. And I mean solid oak. It wasn't like one of these like MFI type furniture. I mean solid, like kitchen, you know, really thick. It took 3 or 4 of us to lift it up just that much off the ground. And the medium said to me, he said, sit on the table. And this table was literally dancing around the room. And this wasn't in a blacked out room, it was under a red light. This was in normal daylight, and this was happening. So that's one example. However, there has been other mediums that have claimed to be physical, and it has been taken in the wrong way. Again, I won't mention any names, but basically where they've abused it, because in a lot of physical mediumship demonstrations, it's a blacked out room, nobody can see what's going on. Sometimes it's under a red light, but sometimes it's in complete darkness. The only thing you see is what's called trumpets that go up and form ectoplasm sort of rods that are dancing in the air. Sorry, mine went blank for a minute. But generally, it's blacked out. All the things you checked that there's no sort of, normally sort of metal detectors and all that. It's done properly, and that's open to abuse, in my view. If you read about the old physical mediums like Jack Webbers of the 30s, literally they would go in the front room and they would do the physical mediumship in front of people in the front room. The curtains would be open, the people in London would be looking through the windows and all of that. So, but we're in a different way, a different time now. Mental mediumship over the last 100 years has taken over the physical, because now the physical came in because it needed to prove it when it first started off. But and the final thing is that a lot of physical mediums don't live very long. They pass over because of the strain on the body. So I know that's long-winded, Susan, but hopefully that answers your question. Please, if there's anyone else who disagrees with what I said, then please contribute to that. So, I know there was Polly Harnett in at one point. I don't know if she's still on. She may wish to put views on that. Okay, so Susan, if you can just please say yes that you're still here before we go to do your reading. So we're going to give it another 10 seconds and then we're going to have to move on, unfortunately, Susan, if you don't put a yes in the comments. I'm afraid we're going to have to move on then, Susan. If you come back on or you've nipped for a cuppa and then you realise you've missed it, then come back to us. Okay, if we can, any hellos, please. So Chris Pile, is it? Yeah. Hello, Queasy Jones. Hello, Sarah Rose. Hello, Kelly McCormack. Hello, Delia Holland from Maine. That's New Hampshire, I think. Hello, Margie O'Brien. Hello, Kendra Hawkins. Hello, Georgette Lucas. Hello, Beth Weber Miller. Hello to you. Hello, Kristen Warwick. Hello, Deborah Adams. Okay, so if we can go back to Susan then. Okay, thank you for coming in. Yeah, guys, if we can think as want to get through. So coming back to yourself, Susan. So I'm going to go on the psychic with the cards first. So the way forward is open. You're not trapped. Possibilities and opportunities abound. I will guide you to personal and spiritual freedom. Now, this bit is going to be a bit controversial, and I'm sure there'll be many people who will respond to this one. Now, people will say to you, Spirit will give you the answer. They'll tell you what to do and everything else. But sometimes we naturally need to make decisions by ourselves. And this is about you not wanting for the Spirit to change things. This is about you making the changes yourself. Now, I always believe Spirit give you help if they know that you can't do it. And I want to say to you, you can bring a lot of changes yourself. And I need to say, there's been like this oomph to sort of like, come on, Susan, you can do this. And it's almost like, yeah, but perhaps it's not the right time. Perhaps I'll wait till January. And it's almost like, how can I put this? There's sometimes I almost like stop myself from doing things in the sense of my motivation. And I need to sort of say, no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to push myself a little bit more. I need to say that I am the person who's going to bring about changes, whatever's going on in your life. I also need to say to you, there are a lot of opportunities happening in both your material life and also your spiritual life, where doors are starting to open. I also need to say to you, when these doors open, this is about you stepping through those doors and not putting barriers in your way to say, now's not the right time, or basically a why in the day, or whatever, that basically for not going forward. So for example, I'm not saying this is it. If it was that I'm going for a job, must have 14 A levels, I've only got 13, then basically, you know, already I've put that barrier in, rather than I'm going to apply for it. If they want me, they want me. Because then I've stepped into that door, I've opened the door for myself, and I've stepped into that opportunity. I do feel that doors have been open for you in the past and they've closed because you have not stepped into it. So I need to say to you to take those. That's the first thing. I also need to say to you, take me to the dog in the picture with you. And I want to say that dog is very much a healing dog, and it gives you what you need. It gives you the comfort, it gives you the support and all of that. Now, I want to go on a motherly vibration. I do feel this is mum, and I do want similarities in the picture there. I also want to say, probably about 5'2" in height. And I do feel with the lady that basically I am on the go. I don't stop. I'm very much attention to detail. I like things done my way. I like the place tidy. I like everything just right. I would have run the finger over. I have the smell of polish. I feel like it's almost like I clean. It's an overkill of the clean. It's almost like I got clean all of the time. Where in fact, you know, we only have to clean like once a week or whatever. It's, you know, and there's no real mess even then. But it's almost like I need to keep it. It's almost continue. I need to keep things clean. I also want to say with her that basically that I'm a worker. I'm always on the go, always trying to put things right, ensure that everyone's okay. I don't actually have any time for myself. And I feel this is with yourself also, that basically you don't have for this time. And this is almost, I need to say to you, this is the time for Susan to get to know Susan and to have that time just for you and to sort of get to know yourself again. I also need to bring what Susan likes to do that brings that happiness and makes the soul sing. The other things, like the fairies, you're very much a free spirit. You do your own thing. I want to bring taking your power back and starting to stand your ground and do your own thing again. And the other thing is, I need to give you the name Thomas. And the other thing is, I know it's 2111, but I want to go the significance of 9 o'clock in the evening as being a time where I feel spirit around me quite strongly. So I don't know if you are at the moment, but I want at 9 o'clock in the evening. I don't know where you are in the world, whether it's 9 o'clock your time, but it's 9 o'clock wherever you are. And I keep smelling cigarette smoke. So I'm having different smells that I'm smelling around. And I need to give you selenite crystals for holding I feel this is to do with my mediumship work. It's sometimes my energy goes up and down. I just need to hold that selenite just to keep that strength going. And the final thing for yourself, Susan, is I need to write things down because it's almost like I keep forgetting things. I just need just to write things down. It's nothing serious. Just because there's so much going in your head, I just need to write things down to remember things. And what else is the? And I need to give you chamomile just to help you to sleep and relax you. For whatever reason, I need to give you that chamomile. And if I can leave that with you, thank you for working with me. We had this one last week. Okay, so how can we practice grounding? Okay, so with grounding, if you again go into meditative state, so there's different ways you can visualize. If you imagine like a tree and sort of looking at the tree and sort of focusing on the tree, it's the core of you. You can imagine roots or an anchor going from the base of your feet and sort of wrapping around the core of the earth. Other things you can do if you're feeling a little bit lightheaded, you need grounding, is you can drink water. You can eat a little bit, which will ground you. The other thing is to walk around barefooted, will also ground yourself. But it's actually just being sort of at one with nature and sort of imagine them sort of roots going from the bottom of your feet to help you with grounding. And if you're a person who's very much sort of goes off, daydreams and all of that, it's about coming back into reality a little bit and sort of giving you sort of that, I need to focus on what needs to be done and not putting it off, which then allows the mind to wander. So that's how I practice, and practice through meditation, and mindfulness is also grounding. So mindfulness one that I would do is you're out in nature, 5 things that you see, 4 things that you smell, 3 things that you hear, and so on until you get down to 1 that refocuses and grounds yourself also. And if you're in the house and you're not in nature, then do it while you're washing the dishes. Again, what do you hit? 5 things that you hear, 4 things that you see, and all of that again, that grounds you and refocus the mind into the rational brain. Hopefully that helps yourself, Krish. I need to go to Randall Valentine Fairy Tarot for you. And the Fairy Tarot is the Princess of Autumn is the card for yourself. The card says, happy news about your career, promotions or scholarships, well thought out plans that go perfectly, needing a little push to get going. Right, I need to say with this, and this goes with the grounding, is almost that I do quite a lot of daydreaming. I'm going to use this word, and please don't take it the wrong way. It's not meant to be critical in any way, but basically, I procrastinate. And basically, what I want to say to you is that basically give yourself an aim each day. So at the beginning of each day or the night before, the intention of what you expect to get out of the next day. So by the end of the day, you review it and go, well, I didn't achieve that. Why didn't I achieve it? But also be realistic. So if you go, well, I said that I wanted to do this day and I didn't do it, I'm such a bad person. No, be realistic. Well, basically, somebody got rushed to hospital or, the car broke down. Things get in the way. Sometimes we need to deal with what needs to be dealt with at that point. So I need to say to you, basically, but be true to yourself when you're reflecting. So basically, it was, I couldn't be bothered today. I wanted to watch TV or whatever else. Then tomorrow, I'm going to make sure the telly's off. I'll put a bit of backside music in the background, and then basically get on. I'm going to do 250 words out of my 1,000-word assignment. I'm going to make sure that I go and see my aunt that I haven't seen for 4 weeks. Whatever it is that you achieve it, and keep reviewing it. I do this on a regular basis myself. So for me, if I set an intention, so let's use January, that's a common one. Rather than doing New Year's resolutions, I'll set intentions of what I want. I will then go back to those every 3 months. Did I achieve them? If not, why not? And reset that intention, but then that I always do it and ensure I do it. So I need to say that to you. I also want to say autumn is a very difficult time for you. So I also want to say this is about plenty of rest. This is making sure that you're making the effort to go outside so you're in touch with nature. But I don't know where you live in the world, Krish, but I need to say to you, I want you near water. You have a very sort of strong affinity to water, and it's almost, if you're not near water, then it's almost I need to fill the bath up a little bit, dip my toes in the water rather than getting in the bath or whatever, and just sort of feel that connection with water in there. There's lots of books in this card, and this is about sort of new learning, but this is spiritual learning for yourself. So I need to say to you, there's a lot of learning coming up, but this is being open to learning, not going, Well, I don't know if I believe that. Now, it's important that when we're learning, whatever we learn, it has to resonate. So if it resonates, it stays in here. If it doesn't, in this ear, out the other. So trust yourself in that way. Also be open to different faiths, to sort of different belief systems, to be open to what people say and challenge that. So if someone, rather than someone saying, you know, this happens because of this, then go, well, why does it happen? If you're not sure, ask the questions. This is why on the show, we try and have it as questions so that we're learning from each other. And there's times that I honestly don't know the answers. I can't know the answers to everything. So then I'll put it out to the people on the show so they answer it. So we're all learning from each other at every point on there. So I think there was a question one week, it must be a couple of months ago, about the Rainbow Bridge and animals. I never heard that. My wife had, but I hadn't. So again, I've learned from the audience, or we all learn. You're in South Africa, okay? So I know there's 2 or 3. I don't know whereabouts in South Africa, around Johannesburg and stuff. If you go on Facebook, South Africa, there's quite a lot in there. If you're not part of the centre already, and I think there's one in Durban as well. Okay, so there's also a lot of wood in here, and this is about you going to your core and your core beliefs. I need to say to you, there's people who are challenging your beliefs, and it's almost like you're moving away from those people because there's like disagreement, you don't agree with what they're saying. So I need to say to start listening to your higher self and sort of not listening to other people. And the final thing on the psychic level, before I go to the mediumship, is just to say, don't let the grass grow under your feet. Don't stagnate. You're always learning, you're forever developing, you're always growing. So continue to do that. I have a grandfather on mum's side of the family that comes in with you. I want to say I'm probably about 5'9", 5'10" with him. I've got facial hair here. I've got very distinctive eyes. I've got a nice, really laid back. I smile all the time. I've got a really nice smile. I'm a really nice individual. And I just have an affinity with people. He's one of those people who nobody would say I didn't like him. They would say that he was a nice individual. And when he's passed over, I don't feel very old when I've passed over. I certainly don't feel I've reached 70. I feel, I don't know, 67, 68. I also feel with him that he was very much too laid back sometimes, and as a result, he needed a kick up the bottom, let's say, just to sort of say, right, come on, we need to go and do this now. But he was the salt of the earth. He cared so much for people that when he gave to people, he gave in abundance. I need to say, with you, you do the same. But this is about giving abundance back to yourself. I'm not saying I don't deserve it. You do deserve it. The universe gives an abundance. You give so much, then take it as what happens if somebody needed that help and you weren't going to give that abundance that you always give, then that person's lost out. You're not giving back to yourself, you've lost out. So you deserve it just as much, Chris. And I need to say to you that basically it's accepted. You need to receive more. Okay. And the final thing I need to say, I need to be drinking lots of water. Now, obviously, Durban, Johannesburg, and all that are very sort of, it's a hot place. So obviously, you need to replace, but I'm needing that. I'm needing also to put lemon in it to sort of detox some toxins. Obviously, we don't diagnose, not medical professionals, but for some reason, I need to put that lemon to detoxify. So if there's issues, particularly around the stomach, because my stomach's hurting a little bit, then basically that needs to be investigated by a medical professional in South Africa. Hopefully that helps, and thank you for working with me. Okay, guys, unfortunately, we've come to the end of another show. So I just want to thank Krish for allowing me to work with her grandfather, and for yourself. Thank everyone who's come on tonight for allowing me to work with yourselves and your loved ones. And whatever you're going to do over the next week, please take care of yourselves. Please accept that support that you need if people are offering it. Rest if you need to, but most definitely take care of yourself. Until we meet again, God bless to you all. Okay. Good night, everyone.